Want to do it again? Yeah! Sorry. I don't have enough pull to make that happen. Don't throw anything at me, please.
This is a nice chance for you as a group here to ask whatever questions you may have about Rick's career, racing in general. We'll give you a few minutes to think of something, and I'm going to start it off by just asking, or at least asking you to talk a little bit about your history here at Phoenix.
Hey, Phoenix is always one of my favorite racetracks to run on this place. You know, being a mile track, short track, a lot of traffic, always a lot of stuff going on. Plus, it's a challenging track because you had a long radius, fairly flat, fast corner at one end, and 3 and 4, and a tighter radius, semi-bank corner in 1 and 2, dog leg in the back shoes. So you had to really set up for 2 different types of racetracks, and it made it a challenge, which is what made it fun. But also, the first Indy car I ever drove for Roger Penske was on this track, first test we ever ran, and you know, so we had some good races here, won some races, a lot of good memories, and it's a great place to be. Enjoy it.
That's awesome. Has anybody thought of something that they'd like to ask Rick? Right back here.
When I was a kid growing up, you know, Johnny goes to AJ Boyd and all that. Good relationship between all them with it. Good relationship, was there a lot of, you know.
The question was, did you have a relationship or a good friendship with some of those other racers?
Rutherford and Foyt and those guys? Yeah, we did. We got along well. We got along very well. And it's kind of a funny story, but my first introduction to AJ Foyt, I was running from a little M16 McLaren for a team before I started running for Roger, as at Milwaukee, and I was having my best race to date at that time. I was running 5th. Well, AJ was leading it, and he came around to lap me, and I saw him coming in the mirror, so I thought, well, you know, I'm not going to do anything stupid. He's quicker than I am. He's been around longer. I'm just going to hold my pattern and run the way I've been running, so he'll see where I'm at as he's coming to me, and he'll know where I'm going to be, and not be moving around trying to get out of his way and get in his way by doing that. So I just held my line, and he came up behind me, followed me for a couple corners, and then he found his way around and went on. I thought, no big deal. Finished the race, got 5th, I was all excited. I went and changed to the truck, I came back to the pits where the guys were, and he said, man, what did you do to AJ? I said, I didn't do anything to AJ. So he's mad at you. He came by and said, you tell me, if he ever pulls that stuff on me again, I'm going to stick him in the fence, you know? So here I was, this green-nosed kid, you know, I was worried AJ, here's the man mad at me, you know? Next time I saw him next race, he was signing some autographs, and I had to walk by him. I thought, okay, here we go. It's going to hit the fan now. Get it over with. So I walked by him, I kind of pat him on the side, and kept going. I heard him say, hey, Mears. I thought, oh boy. So I turned around and I started walking back up to him. I walked up to him, and he goes, puts his arm around me and says, boy, we had a hell of a good race the other day, didn't we? You know, just like that. I thought, just the opposite of what I was expecting. Well, but I learned then that his bark was worse than his bite. And also, looking back at it, I think what happened is I earned a little respect by not doing something stupid in front of him. I held my pattern, did what I needed to do, and I think he respected that, and I earned a little from him at that point, and we've been great friends ever since.
Yes. There's somebody down in front here that was putting your hand on someone. Well, go ahead.
What was the toughest race?
Toughest race was the question.
Oh boy. They're all tough. You know, some of the easiest races are the ones you win. I know, they really are, because usually the car's working well on that day, which is why you win the race. You've got a good race car, everything kind of follows your direction. And, you know, a lot of times, Jimmy, your toughest races are running 5th and 3rd, you know, something like that, because you're overextending yourself all day long just trying to keep up, so to speak. Where if the car is very good, there's been days I've led races, and days I put, here at Phoenix, I put a lap on the field. Almost 2 laps on the field here at Phoenix. And, I mean, it was just a Sunday drive. So, you know, sometimes 160-mile-an-hour Sunday drive. But, you know, so I've had a lot of hard ones like that where you really have to struggle to just keep up. And especially you get on a real tight, twisty street circuit, the car's not working, a hot, humid day, no airflow, it becomes a workout. Worst accident. They're all worse. I've never had a good one. Yeah. I did that, and my worst one was in up in Canada on a mile track. I tangled with a guy, and it turned me and stuck me into a guardrail, and the guardrail came through the front of the car and tried to take my feet with it. And I was out of it, but I found out later, I guess, the doctors up in Canada, they got me to the hospital, they came out to Penske, and our track doctor that was standing there and said, there's nothing we can do with them, they're too bad, we're going to take those feet off. And fortunately, the track doctor in Penske said, no, time out, we're going to try something else. So they got me out of there and flew me to Indianapolis, and the doctor about Terry Fell kind of pieced us back together and got me up and going again, you know. They hurt every day, they hurt all the time, but that's all right. That's all right. Right on. Right over here.
I'd like to know how you got started.
How I got started. Actually, no, I never, you know, as a youngster, I never dreamed of making a living at it. I never planned on being a professional driver. It was just a hobby. It was just our family recreation. And started out, my dad raced the Midwest, and he quit when we moved to California when I was 5 or 6 years old. But we always played with something with wheels on it. So started riding motorcycles out in the foothills, you know, 10, 11 years old, just again, family recreation, something to do on the weekends together. Then Mom was afraid I was going to get hurt on a bike. She wanted me in something with a roll cage and a seatbelt. So we started driving. They made me a deal, said, you give up racing bikes, we'll build a buggy and start off-road that way. And so I said, all right. And so we built our own buggies, started running off-road like the Baja 1000, Baja 500, that kind of thing. And sprint buggies, short track at Ascot. And it just snowballed from there. I started getting offers and opportunities and other things. And next thing I knew, Formula V, Super V, SCCA, local stock car at home, short track. Next thing I knew, I was making a living at it. Never planned any of it. It just took its own course. Anybody else? Right here?
Your current involvement with Indy or your own teams?
The question was, what is his current involvement, either with Indy or with whatever, right? Yeah, I'm still with the Penske team, the Marlboro team. I go to all the races, work with the engineers, the drivers, try to help build a better mousetrap, you know, try to help win races. Also, I'm a driver coach for the Pro Series and IRL, for that series, the young kids coming up there, driver coach for them. And then I do about 20, 25 of these schools between all the races, and I thought I retired. One of these days, maybe. You can squeeze one more in. Anybody has a quick question? Right there.
Would you have it any other way than having it like this while you retire?
No, I would not have it any other way. If I retired and really retired, I'd go crazy. So, you know, this keeps me out of trouble. Because really, I'm only 38. You know, 200 causes gray. 200 mile an hour causes gray hair, prematurely gray. So, you know, I'm too young to retire.
You guys have been a fantastic group. How about letting Rick know how much we appreciate him coming out?
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you being out here today, and we just hope you had a great time.
Give it up for Rick Mears! He's agreed to stick around for a few moments, so if you want to get a quick picture with him, or if you have a question that we didn't answer earlier, come on down. And may I remind you to please drive slowly and safely on the way out of the track, turn in your comment cards to anybody back there that's going to grab and get your free ball cap. And thank you so much once again for coming out here and sharing your day at Marlboro Hot Laps. Take care, everybody.